All right, let's try this again. Despite what you may believe, Portland is not on fire. And I have to say I'm proud. Good morning, IG. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nathan Adams. I am the co-founder and COO of Black Wolf Protection Group here in Portland, Oregon. I am not in my office. I'm in our administrative office, and I'm sitting at our chief risk officer's desk. So I hope he's watching this because he will definitely be irritated that I'm at his desk. He's a little OCD about it. But we got some training going on the operations side, so too many distractions. So I'm just coming off a overnight plainclothes detail. And while I'm all geared up, kitted out, loaded out, whatever you call it, I kind of want to go over with you guys and gals what I carry on a daily basis, or excuse me, not a daily basis, but what I carry when I'm doing plainclothes security work in a professional capacity, and kind of why I carry it and why I carry it, where I carry it. We're also going to go over dress and kind of blending into the environment you're in. Now, this was not a super covert assignment. If it were, I probably wouldn't be wearing a hat with Velcro for patches, because in case you didn't know, it's not common practice. There aren't very many people out there outside of former military, current, former law enforcement, or security professionals that wear a hat with Velcro on them. The good thing about that is, if I want to get rid of this hat, you can tell I've worn it for a while. I have 50 more of these black 511 hats. I can throw this on the sidewalk, not going to cry about it, and go on about my day. And just like that, I'm much more covert. Also, probably wouldn't be wearing Salomon Speedcross 5s. Not very many people outside of professional trail runners and military operators are even aware Salomon's a thing. So they're not a common shoe, and they do make you stand out. That said, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. None of the gear I'm going to show or talk about, none of these companies sponsor me, and this is not an endorsement of any of these companies, nor the people that are behind them. That includes their founders, their owners, and their influencers. This is simply gear that I use that works for me for what I do. That said, we'll start with the obvious. Clothing. So when you're dressing for plainclothes assignments, you want to be extremely conscious of the environment you're going to be in. As I said, we're in Portland, Oregon, so a flannel and denim is pretty much the outfit that everyone wears here. Specifically, this is a winter weight flannel from 511. 511 for a long time was looked at as kind of this cheap tactical clothing store. But they've really stepped their game up. This flannel is amazing. The fabric is super soft. The buttons look real, like full through buttons, but they're snaps, so they come on and off real quick. If you've got stuff around your waist that you need to get to and you need to rip that shirt, you're not gonna have to throw it away or take it to a tailor to get the buttons sewn back on later, if you can find the buttons. As far as the jeans go, again, 511 really stepped up their game with the Defender Flex. They're almost exclusively the jeans I wear, period, now, whether I'm working or not. They're very functional. They have a lot of pockets that allow you to carry gear that you can't normally carry in standard off-the-shelf jeans like Levi's and stuff. And they have the stretch material, so you can get busy if you need to. Shoes, Shoes are probably one of the most important things you can spend money on. You're generally going to be standing a lot, walking a lot. Again, I wear the Salomon Speedcross 5s. These are the Gore-Tex version. I also have the summer version. Salomons are hit and miss with me. I've had some Salomon types that just absolutely are uncomfortable for me, and Salomons like these that fit like a glove. They feel like they're part of my foot. I can barely tell they're there. They have amazing traction. They are legitimately a waterproof shoe unless you're stepping in water over your ankle. A lot of Gore-Tex shoes out there have leak points. I've submerged my foot up to the ankle in these, no leaking. Obviously that deteriorates over time. The only downside I will say about the Speedcross 5s is that they are a trail running shoe. Why does that matter? It matters because the rubber that they use on the sole is a much softer, more tacky rubber than a shoe that's made for street wear. So what that leads to is a faster wear of your tread pattern. So if you're looking for a shoe that's going to last you multiple years, that's not it. I have another pair of, like I said, the summer weight shoes. The summer weight Speedcrosses that after just the summer of wear, got them early summer, switched over to Gore-Tex's yesterday. The heel tread, it's non-existent. It's literally like to the sole of the shoe. So footwear is probably one of the best investments you'll make. All right, so now let's get into what I actually carry again and why I carry what I carry. And we're gonna start with the one that everybody thinks about offhand if you're doing plainclothes armed work, is the gun. So me personally, I carry a Glock 48. Sorry if it floods me out for a second. I'm gonna move the camera. I think the Glock 48 is probably one of the best guns Glock ever made. Specifically, let me unload this real quick. All right. It is clear. You can't see that. My Glock 48 was the first gen. It doesn't have the rail attachment and all that good stuff, or the optics cut. I don't use optics for duty. So one thing I always do to Glocks, switch the trigger. This is the Zev trigger, and then the next thing I always do to Glocks is sights. These are the Trijicon. See if I can get this lined up here. Nope. Almost. Anyway, Trijicon night sights. Night sights are kind of a gimmick unless you're shooting under nods a lot, and even then, there's other things that you're using. What I do like about the Trijicons is that orange front dot. That's money. You pick up that orange front dot really, really easy. When you're presenting to a target, that orange front dot will come into your peripheral, like just past about a foot in front of your body before you've even come up. So it makes getting your sights on target really fast and really easy. As far as the ammo I carry in my carry gun, I alternate my mags. This is something you see a lot in the military community, but specifically I use Lehigh Defense. These are fracturing rounds. So it's essentially a hollow tip, if I can get it to focus. It's a hollow tip that has 3 breakaway sections, so that when it enters an organic medium, the 3 petals split off, all the energy is transferred into that target, and it creates an efficient wound. So I have four of those top of my mag, and then it alternates to 2 rounds of Lehigh Defense Extreme Defender. And if I can get it to focus again, these look like a Phillips head screwdriver. They're machined out of solid copper. There's no lead. It's a 90 grain round, which is super light, and it's a plus P load. So it's a fast round, and the nose geometry enables this round to penetrate level 3 body armor. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, there are quite a few militant groups here in Portland. And unlike most cities, most states in the U.S., the militant groups here are not right-wing. Last night, there's a establishment here called Revolution Hall. There was a heavily armed and armored leftist movement. Not saying that these rounds are made for leftists. I'm not saying that. I'm politically neutral, almost as politically neutral as you can possibly get. I'm saying that there are other factions out there that wear body armor besides law enforcement, military, security. Body armor is very cost efficient nowadays. For example, I can't remember, Premier body armor, I think you can get those for like $200-300. Safe Life Defense you can get for $500-600. So body armor is much more common out there. And you never know your threat. And then, I always get the comments like, okay, well, if it'll go through body armor, what about over-penetration? Again, these were very, very well designed. And even in a organic medium with no armor, no clothing, nothing, they only have 18 inches of bullet penetration, which is awesome. So you're not going to get that over-penetration through your target. Magazine. So the 48 comes with Glock single stack mags. 10 rounds ain't quite enough that I want to have in a firearm I'm carrying in a duty capacity. So I have the Shield Arms, double stack 15 rounders that go in gun. And it is a flush mount. So it's flush just like the Glock mags, but it's a +5 capacity, which is awesome. And then for my spare, it is the Shield Rounds 15 round mag with their +5 base plate. So my spare mag has 20 rounds. So all in all, when I'm working in this capacity on body, I am carrying, 35 rounds of 9mm. Holster, I do carry appendix. I'm thankfully still thin enough to do that. Getting difficult. COVID has really put a hurting on my waistline. But again, please do not take this as an endorsement for the companies that produce these things. T-Rex Arms sidecar. I have tried. I've spent thousands of dollars on holsters. I've tried them all, even name brands that aren't very well known amongst most people. T-Rex has the most comfortable holster on the market for me. Please. It's just my preference. Don't go buy a T-Rex holster and be like, Nate's a piece of shit. He lied. It doesn't feel comfortable at all. And I do carry, again, appendix. All right, so there goes the firearm. Now, what else could I possibly carry? Well, always carry handcuffs. Not that I ever plan on using them, because when you're working plainclothes details like this, your primary function is safety of your client, right? If you are tangled up with someone trying to get them in handcuffs, you're not providing safety and security to your client, especially if you're on a one-man detail, which is not ideal, but it happens a lot here. So these handcuffs are handcuffs I've had for a long time. They're old school Smith & Wesson M100. These were probably made in the 70s. They have a very nice patina on them. They're smooth as butter. They are chained, which for all you counter custody guys out there, you know the flaws behind chained handcuffs versus hinged, all that good stuff. But these handcuffs have emotional and sentimental value to me. They've been placed on quite a few people. So that's what I carry. If you're gonna carry handcuffs, you gotta carry a handcuff key. I do carry, so handcuffs I carry back left pocket. The reason for that is if you are trying to put handcuffs on someone, generally you're going to be restraining them with your strong hand, right? Because there's more strength there. It makes sense. However, if you're going to be taking handcuffs off of someone, or when you go to double lock them, that means they're already on. So at that point, the threat should be non-existent. So you've probably reholstered your firearm, your taser, your pepper spray, whatever it may be. And so you can access things on your strong side. So handcuff key carried in my right side pocket. I carry one of these big oversized ones. It's heavy because handcuff keys are tiny and they get lost in your pockets. You drop it on the ground and that thing can be gone forever. This big one comes with a nice belt, nice little clip, hooks to the pocket. Never have to worry about it disappearing into my clothing. What else? What's this? In the coin pocket of my right pant, so right here, I have a Victorinox. Can you read that? Victorinox fruit knife. Any of you Ed Caldron fanboys out there like me? No, Ed's a great dude. Been to a few of his classes. I'm not going to get into all that. Go to his class. If you've never been to one of them, go to his counter custody entry. Go to his organic medium entry. Go to one of Ed's classes. We will be hosting him here, hopefully 2021, definitely 2022. But, you know, I mean, you never know. You come across a grocery store, you want to grab an apple or a peach or a plum or, you know, some delicious fruit. You want a good fruit knife to cut that up with. This one specifically comes with a super cool Kydex sheath, so that, you know, it doesn't rust in your pocket. And it has this little hook on it so that when you pull it out, it stays. But yeah, I mean, fruit's everywhere. You don't want to get super messy eating fruit, so you have a knife for it. I left my pepper spray in the other room because it was annoying. These 511 jeans, I'm going to turn you guys upside down here for a second. These 511 jeans, besides the back pocket, have a secondary pocket here. Now that secondary pocket was designed to fit a 5.56 magazine. Okay, well, I'm not running around with an AR-15 in Portland. So I don't carry 5.56 magazines in there. What I generally carry there is a small pepper spray canister. It's a great seasoning, and it is a extremely effective pain compliance or evasion tool. Had that gentleman in Denver had some pepper spray, he may not have had to resort to using his firearm on someone. Pepper spray is generally a great thing to carry all the time. It is a self-defense tool that is legal in most states. Some states it's not. Again, I use Sabre Red, and I specifically use the gel instead of the stream or fog. The reason for that is we're in the security industry, we're generally not dealing with a mob or multiple people that we're engaging with. If we are going to engage with someone, very likely it's one person, and very likely it's in a situation where there are multiple people who are innocents around them. So what the gel does is kind of twofold. It prevents overspray because it's thicker, it's not cloud-based, and in so kind of shields bystanders and you from blowback or sprayback, or if the wind's blowing towards you, you know what I mean? The other thing is the gel tends to stick a lot better than the stream or the spray. So again, it's more effective in trials. It's more effective at pain compliance, and you don't get the spray back. Outside of that, what do I have left? Oh, latex gloves. If there's ever a medical emergency involving someone around you or your client, or if you do have to go hands-on with someone, you're going to want gloves. These are North American Rescue. I will endorse them. All of their equipment is amazing. What they do for the industry is amazing. These are their bear claw gloves. They come individually wrapped, which is again amazing. We're not using black gloves. Black gloves look cool. It might make you feel good to be tactical. Here's the issue: can't see blood on black gloves. So a lighter color, tan, is great. You still kind of have that tactical aspect if that's just something you're into. Purple, blue, any color besides black, honestly. So that when you're doing blood sweeps, you can actually tell if someone's bleeding. And again, the individual wrapped ones, they're great. One thing to note when you're carrying these, you don't want to carry them next to anything sharp for obvious reasons. You don't want to compromise the glove by them being poked by your handcuff key or abrased against, the edge of your handcuffs or any other things you might be carrying in your pocket. Almost, check. Yeah, I carry so much sometimes I forget what I have on me. Oh, of course. And tourniquet. So this was, again, very few ideas are original ideas. So most of what I carry, most of how I carry it, I learned from other people. I'm not some, guru in this stuff. Although I'm pretty good at it. Tourniquet. You definitely should have some kind of tourniquet. The newest generation cat tourniquets are probably what you should be carrying. Again, some knowledge from Ed Caldron, Ed's Manifesto. Go follow him if you don't. Everything you carry has a narrative, right? It goes in, some of the stuff he talks about. I'm not giving away any of his course material, but what you carry has a narrative to it, right? So a black tourniquet opposed to a neon orange tourniquet, right? A neon orange tourniquet is viewed by pretty much everyone as, hey, that guy is medically inclined, he knows what he's doing. A black tourniquet, and anything really black, is looked at as tactical, right? It's automatically looked at as kind of shady and tactical. That said, all I have are black tourniquets, with the exception of one Sam tourniquet, which I carry in my backpack pretty much all times. But as far as how to carry a tourniquet, because they can be kind of bulky, again, Ed, thank you for this. Right here in my waistline, you'll see This is where the windlass secures, and I just use it as a belt stop. And then to draw it, it's literally just ran straight down your pants leg, right? So it just kind of dangles down there through your pants leg, and you use the belt as a stop. Now, the reason it's not staged like a lot of military units do and stuff like that is because, again, I'm working, or maybe you're working alone. This tourniquet might be needed for you, not for someone else. That said, if you have a severe injury to your leg or a lower extremity that makes it to where you can't, that leg is no longer mobile, you can't lift it up, and your tourniquet is looped, right? You might not have the time or the wherewithal mentally to get that loop over your leg. So the tail end hangs free so that you can go under the limb rather than try to go over the limb. So there's kind of the logic behind that. I do have one more thing I want to show you guys before I go. I don't remember where it happened, but I'm pretty sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with the plainclothes security agent that was working security at a bar somewhere. They had an active shooter event. The security guard at the bar was armed, concealed carrying, and he was able to arrest the guy at gunpoint. Well, when the police arrived, they mistook the security guard for the shooter and immediately shot and killed him. Obviously, that's a horrible scenario. I just locked myself out, so I'm going to go into the real office. So we talk about ways to identify yourself to your client, to other security professionals that you might be working with, to law enforcement, should they become involved in a situation that you need assistance with. So there's several different ways to do this. If you're super covert or you have a shirt big enough, one of the things you can do is neon green, neon orange, neon pink duct tape on the inside of your clothing. Put a big X, and then on the front, down each side, one big strip. What this does is, once and if the situation is kind of calmed down, if you can remove that outer garment, turn it inside out, and throw it back on, you are very visible to your client, you're very visible to law enforcement, you're very visible to any coworkers that you might be with, because I'm sure you've already discussed this in your mission brief. One of the things that I love, these things have been around for a while, police use them all the time, are these, how is it even called? Quick light? Quick flare. And what they are is the super cool little clip-on light. And what it's made for, it has a couple of clips. So it has this, I'm going to put this down so I can show you guys. It has this big clip, so it can clip on a hat, it can clip on Molly gear, it can clip on pretty much whatever. But it also can be removed. That rotates 360, by the way. And then it has a smaller kind of internal clip. So if you have a shirt with a button on it, you can tuck it right under, put the light down, and put that down. And it's pretty well hidden. Anybody that looks hard will see it, but it's pretty well hidden. Has a button that can be pressed through the shirt. It's not flickering. It just looks like that because cameras don't like LED lights for whatever reason. But also, if you're working in the dark, you can have something that you can shine down. It's directional. It has a hood, so it won't blind you if you're using it. If you press it twice, it's white. Press and hold, it strobes. And it has brightness settings. It has 20 lumen, which is the standard. It has 100 lumen, and it has 200 lumen. Again, the cool thing about this is it comes with this little diffuser piece that just snaps on. So let's say you're in a situation, you need to call for backup, you need to find your client, you need the police to know who you are. So you've called 911, you've told them, hey, I'm security, I am wearing a white and red strobe, please don't shoot me. Turn this on, if I didn't kill it, and you're instantly able to mark yourself in the dark, in the daylight, doesn't matter. You can clip it on your shirt, you can clip it on your hat, you can clip it on your back, your backpack, whatever. These are great, they're rechargeable. They are a little expensive for what they are, but they're well built. They're about $75 to $78, depending on where you get them at. But they're a really good piece of equipment. I carry this with me every day for multiple reasons, not just marking. But that's pretty much the spiel, guys. If you have any questions, my DMs are always open. And I will be posting a photo on my profile. So if you guys want to see more up close what the stuff is, or if you need any advice on where to get the stuff, just let me know. All right, guys, have a good day. And don't burn down the city.